welcome back to your favorite podcast, the Late Night Yap, with your host, Lexiee. We are now on episode 4. What? That's crazy. I hope that each and every one of you has been enjoying the podcast so far. In this episode, I did decide to do things a little bit differently, so we are going to be reading Am I the Asshole stories specifically just for this video. Going forward, all of the videos are going to have a theme of some sort, so it could be about relationships, weddings, siblings, I don't know, red flags, crash out. I mean, there's quite a few that we can do. I don't really want to copy anyone necessarily, but there are a few types that we can, whatever category you guys want to see, just go ahead and leave me a comment down below, and then I can make a video based on the theme that you picked. I'm also really glad that I started this podcast, and so far, everyone has been so amazing, and I just want to thank everybody for all the support that you've given so far, all of the comments, all of the likes, all of the follows. I started this podcast, well, I guess I'm recording it now, so this won't be posted probably for like another week or so. But right now we're on almost week 2 and we're getting there, you guys. We're a lot farther than I imagined, and it's really great to see, a community of people that enjoy something and we can all get together and have a little chat, and I love that. I just love it so much, and it makes me really happy to see everyone just engaging. And I also wanted to take the time in this episode to kind of go over, who am I? What am I doing here? What kind of content do I make other than podcasting? If those are things that you wanted to know about me, I'm going to tell you in this episode. On my other socials, I do go by Lexiee Duh. So if you want to follow me on any of my personal accounts, you absolutely can. On my personal TikTok, I post about food, and recently I have started posting about video games. I do like to game. I may want to try to stream on Twitch with my video games. So if you wanted to see that, I also go by Lexiee Duh on Twitch as well. However, my main focus right now definitely is the podcast, but those are kind of like little side things that I do, on social media besides what I'm doing here. Before I started posting content this year, though, I was posting different content before, but I wasn't really happy with that content, and I wanted to do something a little bit different. I started going through, what kind of hobbies do I do? What do I like doing? I like cooking, I like playing games, and I've recently discovered that I also like podcasting. And out of all of them, the podcast so far has been the most fun thing to do for me. And even like editing, as much as time consuming as it is, it doesn't really feel like, ugh, I have to do the editing today, and oh, I don't want to do that. And I feel like here I can really put my personality on camera and get more comfortable talking in front of the camera, which is something that I have been really working on and I've had such a hard time doing in the past. And now it's more like I can just get in front of the camera and talk to it like I'm talking to a real person, even though there's nobody here and I'm in the room by myself. At the end of the day, practice makes perfect, and we are not perfect, but we're getting there. Small creator, and I'm just doing the best that I can. I've been watching other people read Reddit stories for a while now, so yeah, and I just decided this is what I'm gonna do. I also gave myself some goals for the beginning of this year, so in January, I decided I'm gonna be a content creator. What do I do outside of content creation though? I'm a stay-at-home mom. My son is autistic, so I stay home with him, and we just do everything that he needs in his daily life. And unfortunately, because he needs a lot of extra care and time, I cannot work a job. I guess like a commute job. A 9 to 5, if you will. Other than being a mom, I want something that is mine, that I can just get on and say I created this and this is my thing that I'm doing, something that belongs to me and something that means something of purpose and art, whatever it is. I love creating. I love art. I love anything that has to do with that category. And I'm hoping that I will be here for the long haul. I don't get paid to do these videos just yet, but maybe in the future. I don't know. We'll see. I just want to be able to support my son and just give him everything that he needs to have. And I want him to be happy, and I also want to be happy. I don't want to just, well, not that there's anything wrong with being a mom, but I want to have something more, something that I can express myself and be who I am outside of just being a mom. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into our first story. Am I the asshole? Told my coworker that she's falling for a romance scam and now she's upset. My friend, let's call her Nancy. Nancy and I have worked together for 3 to 4 years at a hair salon. Nancy is early 30s, kind of an airhead, gullible, but really kind and nice person. She's currently in a relationship with this guy for about 6 months. He lives in New York, we're in the Midwest. They talk on the phone all the time. He's been out here a couple of times to visit. We've never met, but heard a lot about their relationship. She texted me at 6 a.m. asking to borrow $10,000 because her boyfriend's mom is having a family emergency and needs the money soon. She said he's working on an offshore oil rig in Dubai for 2 months and couldn't transfer the money until he's come back to the state. She doesn't have the money, so she asked if I can ask my relatives for $10,000 for her. I told her that this sounds like a romance scam and that if he's asking her for such a big amount of money like that early in the relationship, it is a red flag and she should reconsider. I told her that since I don't know her boyfriend very well, if he ends up ghosting her, either me or her will be on the hook for the $10,000. Now she won't answer my text or call. She also took a personal day from work today. Am I the asshole? Should I have kept my mouth shut and minded my own business? It does seem a little bit odd that they've been together for 6 months, and I'm assuming that this is a long distance relationship and they're already asking her for a large amount of money, which after 6 months, he should probably know that she doesn't have 10 grand to give to somebody. There is also an edit here. Yes, she is very naive and gullible. She believes she can talk to ghosts and spirits. That's another can of worms that I won't get into. She didn't bring her boyfriend around when he was in town a couple of times, just a bunch of excuses. I told her sister about it and I got an earful about how I shouldn't judge a person in need like that, so I gave up. I sent her a few articles about sweetheart scams and still no reply, and I know that she read it. She is not the type that's loaded. She lives with her parents in their basement and lives paycheck to paycheck. I hope she will realize this is a scam before she's in debt. This will be an expensive lesson. Thank you all for letting me vent. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think it's a scam? Or do you think like he really needs that money? There's also a second edit here. She just texted and asked for the money under the guise of her sister needing it. It was a flat no. I feel bad for her. I told other coworkers and my boss about it so they could say no to her and maybe she'll understand from a group perspective that we're trying to protect her. Update number 3. What me and Redditors expected was true. She was in a romance scam. So if you did have the thought that the scam was real, you were right. She never met her boyfriend in person. They only talk online. See, that's what I was saying. They are long distance, 6 months, and he's already asking her for a large amount of money. She said she was lonely and afraid of being alone. She said her boyfriend stopped contacting her after she couldn't get the money and started asking simple questions like no internet on the rig, satellite phone, etc. After that, she realized that he was scamming her. She started telling me about how she had been sending him small amounts of money, like $50 to $500 in the past 6 months to help him out with a small emergency. When he ghosted her after she couldn't help him with the 10K, she realized that she had been romance scammed, and I'm glad she saw it for what it was. But she still gave him like money though. Honestly, though, if you are in a long distance relationship with someone and they are asking you for that much money, I think I might be a little suspicious too, especially if they stop talking to you after you don't send them the money. What do you mean, sir? What do you mean? Am I the asshole for charging my girlfriend for rides after finding out she charged me rent for years in a house that she owns? I have been living with my girlfriend for about 5 years. When the pandemic hit, I lost my place. At the time, we'd only been dating for a year. She asked if I could stay with her temporarily while I figure things out. She agreed as long as I covered the rent and she'd handle the other household expenses. It seemed fair, so I moved in and paid the full rent each month. Less than a year ago, I found out the place isn't rented at all. It actually belongs to her and her family. She never told me. They never paid rent. I felt pretty hurt and betrayed. It wasn't just about the money, it was about the lack of honesty. I brought it up expecting at least a serious conversation or an apology. Instead, she basically said, "You agreed to pay, so what's the issue?" I told her I wasn't comfortable continuing to pay for something that doesn't cost her anything, especially when she doesn't work and gets money from her parents. I decided to start saving that money instead. Then she said her parents only allowed me to live there because I was paying rent. I asked her to talk to them about changing that or at least give me time to save up and find my own place, but she refused. She didn't even try to discuss it with them. After that, I started making jokes whenever she would ask me to drive her somewhere. I'd say things like, "That'll be $5," or "Your Uber has arrived." They were just jokes. I wasn't actually charging her, but it was my way of poking fun at the situation. She didn't take it very well. We had a big argument, and I told her that if she could charge me to live in her house, I could joke about charging her to use my car. Since then, things have been tense. She stopped talking to me, started cooking only for herself, and pretty much ignores me. A few weeks ago, she felt sick late at night and didn't tell me anything. She just called an Uber and left. I only found out afterward. I told her she should have said something, but she didn't seem to care. Now I'm sitting here wondering if I was out of line. I still feel like I was taken advantage of, but maybe the jokes were too much. Then again, if the role was reversed, I would have never asked her to pay rent to live in a house that cost me nothing. So, am I the asshole? Personally, I think in this scenario, you can't always rely on the fact that somebody else is going to have the same morals or the same values and uphold them as if it were you, because everyone is different and you can't expect anyone to do something that you would do. I think that expectation there and being like, well, if it were me, I would have done that, but she isn't you and she didn't do that. I think at this moment right now, you should probably think to yourself, do you really want to stay with this person? Was that really a big enough deal for you to be like, hey, I think we should call it quits. This is not going to work. This is not someone I can see a future with. Those kinds of things, because this girl obviously seems like she charged you, but I think maybe in her point of view, she was probably thinking, oh, well, if I tell him that, then he's not going to want to pay rent, which obviously you were saying, like, I don't want to pay it, but if she had been upfront with you at first and said, look, my parents own this house and they don't want you here unless you're going to pay this rent, then I think you could have made that choice for yourself. I can either pay this rent to live here or I can go somewhere else and figure it out. But at the end of the day, she did withhold some pretty important information from you. And that right there, I mean, if she can hide that, what else do you think she's hiding from you? So, and we do have some relevant comments here. The first comment says, no matter who owns the house, you wouldn't live rent free. It's time for you to move out. If you don't have a savings account with enough money for a security deposit and 2 months' rent, it's time for you to get a second job. OP responded and said the house is owned, and when that's the case, there's no mortgage to pay. Only the services you use, like water, electricity, etc. Commenter number 2 replied and said, no, first, many homeowners absolutely have mortgages. In fact, it's almost impossible to get a mortgage on a house you don't own. If you're assuming there isn't a mortgage because you were told the family owns the home, but even once the mortgage is paid off, there's still property taxes, which could be $10,000 per year for a very modest house. Insurance and maintenance, your use of the home creates wear and tear and devalues it and its contents. And you living there is an opportunity cost. The space isn't being rented out or used for something else. Expecting to live in your girlfriend or family's home without paying is not okay, which, I mean, yeah, anywhere you go, you're gonna have to pay rent. Even if she doesn't pay the rent, like if she didn't have a mortgage, I think at the end of the day, you could still pitch in to help with like groceries or like the electric bill, the water bill, things that you are going to be using in the house. You should definitely pay for or have like help them with those extra expenses. You shouldn't just expect to live somewhere for free, period, at any point. Which I think in that instance, if you're asking, like, if you're that asshole for making the jokes, no, because she lied to you. She hid something from you and she should have told you that. But you shouldn't expect her to just be like, oh, well, I don't pay to live here, so you can live here for free too. Especially if her parents own the house. Like, she doesn't own the house and it's her parents that own the house. It's more their say than it is yours. Am I the asshole for not letting my friend borrow my car after how she returned it last time? I, 27 female, have a decent used car that I worked hard to pay off. It's nothing fancy, but it runs well and I take really good care of it. Regular maintenance, I keep it clean, no smoking, no trash left inside, etc. I've always been a little protective of it because I rely on it every day for work. A few months ago, my friend, 29 female, let's call her Sarah, asked to borrow it for a weekend trip because her car was in the shop. I hesitated but said yes because we've been friends for years and I wanted to help. She returned it 2 days later with less than a quarter tank of gas. I filled it up before giving it to her. Fast food wrappers in the back seat, dirt all over the passenger floor, and the cherry on top, a mystery scratch on the back bumper she swore was already there. It wasn't. I didn't say much at the time because I hate confrontation, but I was honestly mad, especially because I expected more out of someone who I am friends with. Fast forward to this week, she texts me asking if she can borrow my car again for a different trip, and I told her no, very politely, and said I just wasn't comfortable loaning it out anymore. She seemed to have gotten upset with me and was saying things like, are you sure you can't just help me out? I feel like that's what friends do for each other. I feel like she's guilt tripping me, but I don't know. I responded initially, but now I'm waiting to reply to her. And now I'm getting messages from another mutual friend saying I'm being too uptight and that it wouldn't hurt me to help her out just this once. I feel like I'm being guilt tripped for setting a boundary after already being taken advantage of once. Am I the asshole for refusing to let her borrow my car again? Absolutely not the asshole. Your friend took advantage of you and you told her no and she didn't like that because she can't keep taking advantage of you. Whoa, did y'all see that? Hold on, wait. Is it flickering in real life or is that on the camera? I think it's just the camera. Look, there it goes again. Okay. I bought that for the podcast, but I guess I might not be able to keep it in the, or maybe I just can't light it up. I don't know. It's a ghosty light. But honestly, if it was me and I let somebody borrow my car and they brought it back in like a condition that it wasn't given to them in, I would definitely not loan the car to them ever again. If you're gonna borrow something of someone's, please return it in the condition that you received it. So if she filled the gas tank for you, go to the gas station and fill her car, but that's like the least you can do as a friend after somebody just did a favor for you and helped you out. If you want her to help you out again, maybe you should have took better care of her stuff. Because now she don't trust you, and I don't blame her. So if that was you guys, would you give the car back? I think she's not the asshole, and I think she was right for setting a boundary, and I think you should continue setting that boundary and do not let that girl bully you into giving her the car. Am I the asshole for not making the trip cross country to meet my nephew because my family are mean to my wife? Hi, my family hates my wife. They don't like that she took me away from the East Coast. She was bigger when we met. She didn't go to a good school. She doesn't want kids. She's too girly and then not girly enough. She can seem cold at first because she's a little reserved, and on and on and on. It has been hard. I was close to my brother, but he led the charge early on because she called him out for something and he didn't like it. He is the favorite, so they took his side. My little sister is the most neutral. I've tried to talk to them about it so many times, but eventually just realized this wasn't going to change. I love my wife. I have no regrets. This past Christmas will be the last. They didn't give her any gifts, excluded her from the cookie party, and I caught my mom and aunts talking about her twice. I got us early flights and took her skiing. Honestly, you are green flag husband, OP. Her dad loves me. We have weekly walks. Her mom drops by for hugs. Her brothers and I have our own group chat. Her sister baked me a birthday cake. It should be this way with my family too. I'm not trying to be too emotional, but this hurts. My brother, the favorite, is having his first child in July. They have asked me, not us, to come meet him. I told them no. I'm sick of their shit. Unless everything changes, I'm not going to waste my money. My mom got on the phone and told me I don't have to bring her. I should just come myself. I said, no, we're married. We're a package deal. She twisted it to, oh, so she won't let you come unless she comes too. And I told her, no, I'm saying this. I'm sick of the way of you treating her like crap. It's Jerry Springer levels of trashy. You are not the father. Dumb thing to say, and it set her off listing all the grievances they have with her. Some of it is just stupid. She carries a water bottle wherever she goes. Yeah, mom, she's from California. We all do. I mean, it's hot there. I live in Florida and it's hot here, and I carry water with me everywhere. If you live in the desert, you gonna carry water with you. Like, what? Dad jumped in to back up mom and accused me of holding adult problems against an unborn child. She said that I'm really not going to be a part of my nephew's life because my wife can't get along with the rest of the family. Boo-hoo. Maybe you guys should treat her better. This is what I'm stuck on. Am I wrong? I do want to be in my nephew's life and it isn't his fault, but it feels wrong to reward them because it won't ever end. Honestly, OP, you're doing the right thing. Your wife comes first, especially when your family is literally bullying her. I'm not really sure, other than just maybe your mom feels she took my baby away from me and now I have to hate this woman and she wants to harbor everything. Either that or she's just picking and choosing who she wants in your life, and that's not cool either. But I'm really glad that you stuck up for your wife, and there are some relevant comments here. The first comment says, "You are a hero. Your family hates your wife for no reason. You see how much that hurts her and how ridiculous their grievances are, and you're holding them accountable. The unborn child isn't going to be bothered by you being there or not being there in their lives. It is your adult family who made the choice to be terrible, and they are the ones who will suffer for it. Mute their phone calls and spend your time with decent humans. I'm so sorry that you had to make this choice, but good for you for making it and not making your wife put up with the disrespect." So, if even if OP did go and was a part of this nephew's life, so I guess now every time he goes to a function or she's just going to go by himself, like what about the next family get together? Oh, it's only you that's gonna come. So now they're trying to exclude her, and that's not cool either. I know it can be hard because it's family and these are people that you've been with like your entire life, and having to choose your wife over them, but any normal person would never make you choose your wife over them. Just saying. Am I the asshole for wanting to leave my wife after she gave birth to my child? My 34 male, wife 32 female, and I have been married for 7 years. After a miscarriage, she admitted to me that she had multiple affairs over the last 4 years of our marriage. Oh, well, okay, that's interesting. Her last affair ended a year ago. Oh, that's even more interesting. What? She begged for us to go to therapy to work on her marriage, but I refused to go. I mean, I don't blame you. That's some pretty big news, and for her to just be like, "But we can go to therapy," even though I cheated on you. During this time, I'd moved out of the house. Occasionally, I would go back to take care of the house and animals, and she would constantly try to manipulate me into coming back. I had every intention of getting a divorce, but the process is slow. I hated the betrayal I felt, but I also missed my wife during the separation. One thing led to another, and we had some sexy time, and she got pregnant again. Shortly after the news came, I had to leave for work about 12 hours away from her. She would call to give me updates about the pregnancy, and we would talk about our marriage. We were separated for majority of the pregnancy. I told her I wanted a divorce still, but I would consider reconciling after the baby was born. After several months away from her, I came to the realization that I could not trust her, nor could I forgive her infidelity, and nor should you have to. I feel like the last 7 years of my life has been a lie, which, yeah, it was. While I was away from her, I met someone and a relationship blossomed between us. I truly feel like I love this woman. She has been made aware that I'm still married and that I have a baby on the way. My wife is not aware of the new girlfriend. Fast forward to a month ago, after the birth of our baby, she has been blaming me for ruining our family because I don't want to stay with her and try to fix the marriage. Like, she cheated on you, got away with it, and then decided to tell you. For what reason of hers, I don't know. And there's also an edit. Thank you all for the mixed reviews. It was expected. I will be talking with a lawyer and will update once I have a chance to talk to one. Appreciate the sound advice as well. The first comment says, "Are you sure the baby is yours?" And OP did respond and said, "Yes, the baby is mine." Another comment says, "Not the asshole. You really should not have slept with your wife that last time without protection. This made everything much more complicated by giving her the leverage." Am I the asshole for telling my mother-in-law she can't take her grandson for an entire day by herself? I, 30 female, had a baby 5 weeks ago and live long distance from my in-laws. My mother-in-law is coming into town next week to visit/meet the baby and wants me to take him all over town for an entire day without me. He is exclusively breastfed and does not take a bottle. He will only eat for a few seconds and then screams and will look for me. He has never been away from me and gets worked up and fussy when I leave the room for more than a few minutes. He is a happy and healthy baby, but very attached to me, which I don't think is unreasonable for being exclusively breastfed and only 5 weeks. Mother-in-law has told my partner multiple times that he needs to make me put the baby on a bottle so she can take him and that I do not know what's best for the baby. This is her first grandbaby, but baby number 3 for me, so I am not new to this. They say I'm trying to keep the baby from her and that I'm selfish for thinking it's too early for him to be away for an entire day. No one on my side of the family has had him by themselves. He has never been anywhere without me, and I'm happy to let her have all the time with him that she wants as long as we are all in the same place. She is not familiar with the area and has not communicated where their hotel is, what they will be doing, where they are going, or how long she wants him. Just that she wants him by herself for the entire day, specifically without me. I'm getting alarm bells and red flags from the entire situation. My partner has said I will not be with someone that would keep my baby from my mom and be so selfish. But I'm just trying to protect my infant. I told them that they can spend all the time they want with him and I won't interfere unless he needs to eat or gets too worked up. Am I the asshole? I'm gonna go ahead and say not the asshole. Your baby is only 5 weeks old, so it's understandable, and he's exclusively fed by you. And to sit there and try to manipulate you into changing your child's food is ridiculous, especially at 5 weeks. Like, there is an edit. My answer is no. She cannot take my baby anywhere. Thanks for the support. More detail, they are from a Caribbean country where there are many cultural differences as well as a language barrier, so I did not see the red flags until I was very pregnant. I have only met mother-in-law in person a few years ago, and she put the crazy away for that occasion. He said many times throughout my pregnancy that he wanted a baby born in his home rather than here in the States where we live, but I made it clear that that was not feasible. He had also expressed that he wants to take the baby back to his home country to learn his language and culture at some point. I fear that he and mother-in-law are plotting something behind my back, but I have been told I'm being controlling, manipulative, dramatic, and selfish so many times in the past week that I think I'm losing my grip. Am I actually seeing the signs I'm seeing, and do I need to be reacting as strongly as I am? I will not be letting this baby out of my sight, and she will be lucky to see the baby at all with the way that she's behaving. Is that too overbearing, or is being a protective mother? I haven't gotten enough sleep for this. See, I was a new mom once, and this is also baby number 3, so you should know more than me, obviously, because I only have one baby. Well, he's a toddler now, but when I was a new mom, I did go through PPD pretty bad. And I think at like a standpoint, after you've just had a baby, I mean, she could at least wait until he's like maybe 3 months old. I know that she's visiting there now, but maybe like in the future, you guys can plan a trip when you haven't just freshly gotten out of the hospital, when you heal. Because I think generally, most pregnancies, you're supposed to wait 6 weeks to be completely, like going out and doing things, and especially when your baby is exclusively fed. I mean, you could pump and give them bottles to bring for the baby, but I don't think it's fair to the child either for them to just think they can do whatever they want with it. I don't know. I mean, that's what I was always saying before. Like, it's a baby. It's a real baby. It's a real human. Babies are real. They're human. It's not a Barbie doll. It's not a plaything. It's a real baby. Like, we are not playing house. This is real life, you guys. Relevant comment says, not the asshole. Your husband has lost his mind pressuring you over this lunacy. Nothing about your mother-in-law's demands are sane or sensible or reasonable. No. Practice saying it. No, no, and no. Do not let this woman leave your home with your child, not for 5 minutes, or she'll disappear for the day, not check in, and ignore your calls. If your husband is a first-time father, maybe he just doesn't get it about a newborn, but to be as fair as possible to him, but still no. Another relevant comment says, being a grandma is a privilege, not a right. Am I the asshole for refusing to give my sister the wedding dress I bought even though I'm not married anymore? So, I, 29 female, was supposed to get married last year, but my fiance and I ended up breaking things off a few months before the wedding. It was mutual, no drama, just a realization that we weren't compatible long term. The thing is, I had already bought a dress. My wedding dress was custom made and it cost me nearly $4,000. I know, that's a lot, but I paid for it entirely myself and it meant a lot to me at the time. After the breakup, I packed it up and put it in storage. I haven't been ready to sell it or do anything with it yet. It's emotional, but here's where it gets messy. My younger sister, 24 female, recently got engaged. We're not super close, kind of different people, and she's always been a bit entitled, honestly. She came over a few weeks ago and saw the dress when we were organizing my storage closet. She asked if she could have it for her wedding. I kind of laughed and said, no. That's mine. She got annoyed and said, but you're not even married. You're just gonna let it rot in a box? I told her again, no, it's personal to me, and even though I'm not using it now, I'm not giving it away. She asked if she could buy it at a discount, and I said I still wasn't ready to sell it. She threw a fit, calling me selfish and saying I'm being dramatic over just a dress. Our mom is now involved and thinks I should just give it to her as a gesture of sisterly love. And because it's going to waste. But honestly, I feel like she's only asking because she doesn't want to pay for one herself. And she's not exactly struggling financially. So now I have my sister and my mom acting like I'm heartless and petty for not handing it over. But it feels like a boundary I want to keep. OP, you're only 29. I promise you, you will probably find somebody that you want to marry in the future. And if you want to keep that dress, you should keep your dress. Even if you had worn it for your own wedding, regardless if you guys broke up or not, which she had still demanded that you have it just because, oh, well, you're married now and you're not using it anymore. It's just going to waste. I mean, it's the same argument. First comment says, put it somewhere they will not find it, store it at a friend's house, or rent a small storage unit until after the wedding, and offer to donate money to sis as your wedding gift. She seems to be hurting for money. Oh, since she seems to be hurting for money, not the asshole. Yeah, I think I probably would hide it too, just in case they tried to go over and take it from you, because now she knows where it's at. So, also, personally, I don't think I would want to wear somebody else, like someone else's wedding dress. I don't, I don't know. I don't want to be super, like, so superstitious, but I just think you should get your own dress for your wedding instead of wearing someone else, unless it's like, was your grandmother, like your grandmother's dress, and then your mom wore it for her wedding, and now you're wearing it for your wedding, and then you're gonna pass it down to your daughter. That's so different. Because if OP wanted to do that, I mean, sis is not even offering to give the dress back after the wedding either. And then what happens when she takes it and then needs to make alterations to it? She paid a lot of money for that dress for somebody to just, oh, you should just give it to me since this is sitting here. Like, if you're having a wedding, wouldn't you want to have, you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you want to have, like, your own stuff? I don't know. I definitely don't think OP is the asshole in there, though. Am I the asshole for telling a woman at the gym that she is embarrassing herself? I go to the gym a lot. About 6 months ago, I noticed a woman, I'll call her Andrea. Andrea? Andrea? Andrea. That's not her name, but it will be for the rest of this post. I do not know if Andrea started going to the gym 6 months ago or if that's just when I noticed her. Full disclosure, I spoke to her first, but I had no way of knowing what the result would be. A lot of machines at this gym have little entertainment systems attached to them that can access local channels. I got on a treadmill and realized the TV on the treadmill wasn't working. Andrea was walking past and I said, "Hey, do you know if there's an issue with the cable? This TV isn't working, but I don't know if it's just this one or all of them." She said the same thing happened to her on a different machine. I thanked her, and that was the entire interaction. A week later, she asked me for some electrolyte powder for her water, and I said I didn't have any. She was cool with that and asked me how long I'd been coming to the gym and what I did for work. I answered and returned her questions, and she said she was new to the area and worked private security. We had a few more chill conversations after that. 6 weeks ago, she asked me out. Oh. For reasons I won't get into here, I wasn't interested and I declined. Oh. She said not to worry about things being awkward at the gym if we don't work out, and I said that wasn't the issue, just not looking to date right now. She kept talking to me, and at first I kept talking to her, but I started to think something might be wrong, and I started avoiding her. 2 weeks ago, she walked up to me while I was on a machine with only one way to properly dismount that involved stepping onto what she was standing on. She asked if I was avoiding her, and I said I was and apologized. I said I just don't want to date right now. Whoa, so wait, she blocked you into a machine and then asked if you were avoiding her? Oh my gosh. What? She said I don't have to avoid her to not date her, and I said okay, and I kept avoiding her, but I kept avoiding her though. Tonight, while I was working out, she confronted me again about avoiding her. I had a bad day and told her just to leave me alone. She asked why I'm being such a prick, and I said it's because I wanted her to leave me alone. She asked why I'm being so mean, and I just said because I wanted her to leave me alone. Honestly, this is a woman in a man field right now. Like, what are you doing, girl? What are you doing? Just take no for an answer. Like, we constantly are telling men that you have to take no for an answer, and you're like harassing this man. I then said that she was embarrassing herself and needs to stop. She put her foot on top of the weights, and I thought she was going to press down on them, so I let go of the bar very quickly, causing the weights to slam and make a loud noise. Several people looked over. She said, "Now who's embarrassing himself?" and walked away. Did I go too far by saying that? Do I owe her an apology? Absolutely not. That girl is that is harassment at its finest. And if I were you, I would go to the front desk at the gym and file like a report with them and just let them know that this girl is harassing you. And unfortunately, it seems like you may have to change the time that you go to the gym, which sucks because if you can only go at a certain time, then you may even have to switch gyms because that's unnecessary. Well, it's uncalled for, but I would definitely talk to the people that own the, or work in the gym first so that they know what's going on. And there is an update. I went in early this morning for a run and told the front desk staff about Andrea putting her foot on the weights. Okay, that's what I said. They said they would talk to her. Then after work, I went in again for a regular workout. I was working on my legs when she walked up to my machine. The first thing she did was apologize about the weights. I don't know if someone talked to her or if that was her own initiative. I accepted her apology and apologized for saying that she was embarrassing herself. She said she forgave me, but if I wanted to really make it up to her, I could buy her a drink and she would buy me one to make up for the weights. I said maybe we should buy our own drinks, meaning separately at different places and times, and she misunderstood me and asked when and where. I told her I meant that I didn't want to go out with her. She said this wouldn't be a date, but a reset for our friendship. I said I don't want to be friends. Oh my God. I don't want to be your friend. She said I was being mean and asked me what my problem is. I said the weight incident made me uncomfortable and I would rather us just give each other space. Girl, this man is trying to get away from you at all costs. Why are you still talking to him? She then asked me if my problem. Oh, what? She then asked me if my problem with her is because she's Hispanic. I was so taken aback. I didn't even know she was until she said that. I said no, that she just makes me uncomfortable. Oh my gosh. I couldn't even imagine hearing someone being like, "You make me really uncomfortable, girl. Get it." I would cry. She wanted me to explain what about her made me uncomfortable, and I tried to do so, but she argued with every point I made. Women in male fields, girl, what are you doing? Just why are you arguing with him? It's not your opinion to have. Like, he has his own opinion. Just let him have his opinion. Like, what the heck? I got frustrated and told her to stay away from me. Oh, good. She said fine and that I have a lot of maturing to do. Then she walked away, and I'm hoping that is the end of it. For your sake, OP, I am absolutely hoping that is the end of it because she obviously does not know how to take no for an answer. There are some comments here. First comment says, the moment her foot went on those weights, it became really important to report this. I'm sorry you stumbled across a gym stalker. I did a few years ago and it chased me out of the gym entirely. Yeah, that's what I was thinking is he might even have to leave that gym. I mean, he talked to the staff, but it doesn't really seem like she is going to listen to what they're telling her. She's gonna end up getting herself kicked out of the gym, or they're going to lose somebody at their gym over this. Which at this point, I would probably call or ask to speak with a manager so that you can like transfer to a different gym. And there are other comments here that were saying what I was saying, like she's acting like a man and that like no means no, and now he knows how women feel. But honestly, it's not even more. We don't even know OP in like her personal life, and how do we know that he's ever like harassed or stalked a woman, you know? So I don't think it's necessarily warranted just because he's a man, but it definitely puts in perspective that now he knows what it's like when you keep telling somebody no, 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 and they're just constantly like trying to make you say yes to them. I don't want to say yes to you. I'm saying no. Like, why are we even still talking? At this point, she should have just left you alone. That is so weird. Such a weird thing to do to somebody. Just leave them alone. Take no for an answer and walk away. It is embarrassing. Like, girl, no. No, girl. All right, you guys, that is the end of that episode. I hope that you guys enjoyed the Am I the Asshole stories. I think we got some pretty good ones in there. So, like I said for this episode, we did do things a little bit differently. So this theme was Am I the Asshole? I'm only reading a few stories because the last video I did for episode 2, I think it is, was way too many stories and was a little bit long for me, especially when it came to the editing. So I'm trying to do things a little bit more not easy, but just better to consume because I have been trying to figure out what it is I'm doing. And now that I figured that out, it's gotten a lot better and I think I can make better videos. I'm not super good at editing yet, but hopefully in the future I can get a lot better at it and add like cool little sounds and like cute little pictures and stuff like other people have. So hopefully we get that far, or maybe I can have somebody else do it that knows what they're doing because I have no idea. I just hope my pink hair and my Pokemons in the back entertain you enough for whatever it is that I'm doing right now. And I also want to add that all of the reels that I'll be posting from now on are going to be different from the stories that I'm reading here. So I'm not going to be reading the same stories and posting them on reels. So those will be a separate thing because I realized I was reposting stories and I'm like, "Oh, why would anybody want to watch my episode if they've already heard the story?" I mean, I do have like extra commentary that I didn't add for the reels specifically because I think with the reel, you can only post like 3 minutes worth of film. And so I sometimes have to split when the story is really long, I have to split it. So I take out a lot of that commentary just to kind of here's the story, and then we can comment and make, reactions with it. But this will be a lot easier for me. So I have this video and then my reels will be separate. I know I kind of explained that in the beginning of the video, but I just wanted to reiterate that. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk today. You guys, help me. I'm so tired. It's been a long journey. I recently got a Switch 2 and I posted about it on my TikTok, and the video literally blew up and I don't even know what happened. It's crazy, you guys. It has like 860,000 views right now. Like, I've never went viral like that before. That's my first time. I mean, I've had videos that are like 10K, or like I have one video that was at 300K, but almost a million views. That's crazy. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you please give me a like and subscribe down below. And I hope that you join me next Tuesday for another episode. I haven't really decided on a theme for that one yet, but we'll get to it. Also, don't forget to follow me on the other socials, which are at Late Night Yap. And if you want to follow my personal accounts, those will be Lexiee. I use Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, obviously here, and Facebook. The YouTube and Facebook is only the podcast, but my personal account I have on TikTok and Instagram. And I also use Threads. So if you guys are on Threads, you can follow me there too. I do not use Twitter, so, or X or whatever the heck it is now. I don't know. I don't use that app for personal reasons. If you use it, it's good. I don't really care. I don't use it. So, yeah. Thank you for watching the video if you watched it this far, and I'll see you next time. Bye.